101 and not out. Who's that? Well, it's me, Karishma, back on yet another episode of Karishma Connect, this time round featuring Gillian Sutherland, who is the founder of My Happy Tribe, which is a bespoke gifting service here in the UAE that Gillian and her team have launched. What it does is that it allows you to order your tote bags and pouches and all these lovely things with handmade embroidery creations by talented artisans. And Gillian tells me more about why it's so important for her to do this, how she supports the artisan communities, what has she learned over the years, especially having pursued a master's in social work. And of course, she passionately talks about her three wonderful daughters for whom she does all of this. Go check out the episode, and until the next one, stay tuned. This is Karishma, and I'll be back yet again with another episode very soon. Until then, Dada.
Thank you so much, Gillian, for joining me on this episode of Karishma Connect. It's a pleasure to have you, and I can't wait to know more about all the happiness that you spread and everything that you do. To begin with, every time on Karishma Connect, I always say this: nobody tells your journey better than you. So I will leave that to you to tell me your journey so far.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Karishma. My journey so far. So right now, I have been in Dubai for 3 years. Prior to being in Dubai, I lived in the UK, in Scotland, and I always had a very, very, very strong desire to work with people. I love people. And I was, for some reason, desperate to become a social worker. And my parents were more inclined that I become a psychologist. And I did my psychology degree and then had no intention of ever practicing. That was not my interest or my goal. And I then self-funded myself and did my master's in social work. So I ended up where I always wanted to be. And I can honestly say it was my soul calling. That was my, if there was ever a reason I was put on this earth, it was for that job. And I absolutely adored it. I loved the people that I worked with, in terms of my colleagues and my team. But I really loved and was very privileged often to meet the families that I worked with and to be invited into some of the most difficult parts of their life, whether that be personal experience or something that had happened to them. And a great privilege as well was actually having the skill set and the training to be able to change families' outcomes in life. Sometimes very, very difficult decisions had to be made where the children had to be separated from their parents. And I can honestly say that during that time, those decisions were never, ever, ever made lightly. They were, I remember every single time I had to do it. And I remember the reasons, and I can honestly say that hand on heart at that time that I really felt it was for all the right reasons that had to happen. And I then went on to specialize in drug and alcohol addiction, because what I began to see was a very prevalent trait in families who were facing child protection issues of either neglect or physical abuse or emotional abuse, began to be linked towards addiction. And that became a very, very area that I was passionate about and still am. I don't believe anybody was born to with a desire to become an addict. I don't believe anybody was either born to have a desire to either neglect or hurt their child. And I think that was why I was able to carry on in that area for so long. I worked in that area for 20 years. I continued to uptrain and upskill, and then laterally I was training many teams underneath me to do these things. And that a lot of those skills that I learned during that job were skills that obviously are transferable throughout life, but I would say are also intrinsic to who I am. I'm genuinely interested. I care. I talk too much, but I also listen really hard. So all these skills were very appropriate to that career choice. And it's also benefited me greatly as a person because you cannot help but be humbled every day by what you see and have gratitude every day for what you have.
Yeah.
These things don't leave you when your office hours, if you like, finish.
Yeah.
And then as I became a mother, and I'm a mother to 3 daughters, it's something that I share daily, something that
Yes.
I've learned along that way. And I think it's all the more important that whilst living in a very respectful country such as Dubai, where we are extremely lucky and fortunate, that we also don't forget about the people that are not so fortunate or not so lucky.
Very true.
My real feeling in life is that we're sliding doors. That's what we're born into, is a sliding door.
Yeah.
You know, it could have gone another way. It could have been another time. We just we don't know. So it's never I never have enjoyed or appreciated that sense of entitlement that I have experienced a lot in life, because none of us are entitled to anything, you know. And I think when you come from the heart and you come from a place of being really authentic with who you are, in yourself and with the people that you are with, you'll always be surrounded by the right things at the right time.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. And tell me, what do you do and why do you do it? And I want to, of course, I know about this, but I want you to kind of express
Yeah.
it to the audience because that's where your passion stems from.
Sure. So, as I said, when I came to Dubai, obviously my skill set was very particular and not something that came was very available within Dubai. And I couldn't get a job in Dubai with my skill set. So I decided, well, this is an opportunity to do something completely new and something that I really wanted to do and would be fun. And I thought that running my own business would be, I'm going to be very honest, quite easy and quite fun. And I was extremely naive, extremely naive.
It's a whole different ball game altogether.
Absolutely. Thank goodness I didn't know what I didn't know, because I probably wouldn't be sitting here today.
Yeah.
But definitely it was inspired by, I just got to really embrace that fun side. So the happy tribe came from the saying that I always say to people, if my tribe are happy, I'm happy. And my tribe is always my 3 daughters. So, you know, my husband counts, but my tribe is my girls, you know. So that's where that came from.
Yeah.
The happy tribe, you know, like if it's good with them, it's good with me. And I had 3 children in very quick succession. So I have what's termed Irish twins. So
Oh,
they're,
okay. Huh.
yes, I have one girl born every year. And as you can imagine, that was exceptionally difficult to keep everything organized and separate and what belonged to who. And I traveled a lot because my husband was here, we were in the UK, so everything had to be very organized within military precision. I saw the opening for that there was a real need to do that and something to make it fun. And being the type of personality I am, I do not do half measures. I just launch into, you know, well, if we're going to do it, then we're going to do it. And that's how the Happy Tribe came to be. So Jess is the co-founder, and she was thankfully happy to start on the journey with me. And she is one of 7. She has 6 brothers and sisters. And so together we complement, and we launched it, and we have worked exceptionally hard at where we are today.
Yeah.
I can definitely say that hand on heart. There is no rest. There is no days off. Definitely learned as I've gotten older, self-compassion.
Yeah.
It's absolutely key. I think that in the generation that I was raised, the sort of mission statements were, you know, do your best, work hard, work harder, do more, try again. It was this constant mantra of you must achieve, you must achieve. And within that, of course, it was this a very strong, I was raised with a very, very strong work ethic. And which was something that my father was like passionate about, and was a complete example of that. And was an amazing parent. He was an amazing father. What I have then experienced is that's quite a different journey to being a working parent and a working mother.
True.
Because as a mother, it is still considered we are the natural go-to parent. We are the parents that are invited into the WhatsApp groups. We are the parents that are contacted about play dates. We are the parents contacted about extra activities and all of these things.
Yeah.
So we multitask to a whole different level. And in my case, I drop the ball often. And it can be very hard when you have a 10 or a 12 or a 13-year-old coming at you saying, but
True.
why?
True.
Like, and my only answer is because I'm human. You know, there is that.
Yeah.
My husband would say that the best life hack is where you can delegate, do so.
Yeah.
He does to me.
It ultimately comes to you.
Yeah, like you do it, it's fine. But I think the juggling will continually be difficult, and I don't think that there is any one way to get it right.
True.
I think what sits with you in your heart as a priority on that day or at that time in your life, whether that be the needs of one of your children, or the needs of somebody within your family, or indeed the needs of something in your business. If that gut reaction is really present in you, then I genuinely go with that. That's where I have to be guided to.
And honest to yourself. Yeah.
I think, yes, being honest with yourself, and when you're really connected with yourself, I think you're guided in the right place. You know, if you're at a work event and you're feeling guilt, that really it's because you should be at home.
Yeah, very true.
And equally, if you're at home and you could have been at that work event or been on that course or learning something new, but you're not there, you know it's because there is no excuse.
Yeah, very true. I completely agree. And then coming back to Happy Tribe, tell me what's in it for the audience? What do you offer the people who interact with you?
First of all, completely bespoke service. So it is something absolutely unique to each and every customer, because they can have any color that they like, any words that they like, any colors of letters. It can fit any budget, it can fit any occasion. And the other thing which I'm really proud about, and that you see across all of our socials, is that we make it in Dubai. The people that tailor for us and that embroider for us, they're in our socials. They are part of our team. They are as front facing as I am, as the product is. So really what we do is completely transparent. And I always say that because it's something that I'm very, very proud of. I'm very, very proud of the people that work for me, and I'm very grateful to them. when we had our first anniversary, you know, and we did not have that as a PR event. That was something to celebrate with families and very loyal customers. But you know, I made sure that they stood up, that everybody remembered, if not for them, nothing.
Yeah.
Because that's the reality of it.
Yeah, very true.
I do not view anything that they do as just something to be taken for granted. It's a skill. You know,
Yeah.
it's absolutely a skill that they're offering to our customer base. That I don't personally have. I can have the creative vision, you know, to suggest, but it's not the skill set I possess to actually then produce.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that we can offer that.
But Gillian, tell me a very important part of customization. And I say this because I have a small business at my house as well, where me and my mother are into soaps. And I do know that customizing anything to audience needs does come with its own set of challenges. It's not as simple as giving fixed product ranges and putting them out there. You deal with a lot of especially if you're starting out, because I know both Mom and I face that when when we set up our own customizable soap store. We do know that it comes with a lot of challenges because you're not as certain as, okay, this is my product range, this is the costing I'm giving you, this is what it is. And people often come back with questions where they are clueless about, okay, because people are so used to having that rate card or that range card with them. How do you deal with that?
I think, thankfully, again, be polite and be well-mannered. So that's always the start, because I think we all know, we've all either observed or experienced very tricky customers.
Yeah.
And that brings its own challenge. And of course, there is no more or lesser important customer, because
True.
everybody that is coming to you is coming to you for a really personal reason.
True.
Something very special to them.
Yeah.
I think that probably the most difficult is that perhaps people don't understand the complexity of what it takes to be able to produce what we do.
Yeah.
Want to see your name in 21 colors? I will do it.
Yeah.
It takes time, it takes consideration, it takes thought, it takes love of the product.
Yeah.
And love of the service that I want to be able to provide.
Yeah.
I think the challenge can be a bit where it's still not good enough, or I don't like it, or I want to change it, or that can be difficult. And sometimes as well, people can have competing price needs or competing expectations, and we have to accept that. I understand that is your expectation. However, the reality of what we do is this.
Yeah, very true.
And thankfully, again, because we are transparent, because we are able to say, we have a studio where people can walk in and see things being made. We turn the lights on, we have visas, we have our trade license. We are in this stage in our business because of all of these things.
Yeah, very true.
So these considerations are all given to, as you say, price points or any of these things.
Yeah, yeah. And then tell me, when it comes to luxury gifting, how do you think it has evolved over the years? And in the sense that, how do you hold on to the meaning factor of gifting, especially in today's times? I think that's the thought where my question stems from.
I think now everybody wants to do something different. And they want to feel that what they're doing is special and not the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
I think we are at a point where we're an extremely consumerist driven society.
Very true.
And from observing my teenage daughters, I can see that the trending and the influences change so fast that it has to be something that we can keep up with.
Yeah, yeah.
You can keep up with that by the use of words and by the use of color and use of styles and practicalities. So we are able to offer that. And the other thing that we're able to do is that the sustainability of our products is that they can be, because of the way that they are made, is they can be washed, they can be reused. You know, nothing will fall off or fall apart.
Yeah.
It's not a used once throw away. It can be, you know, I've got bags that I made 2 years ago, so they're still being used and still going strong. So I think probably that is something that people like. They like the packaging. You know, the gift packaging. It's fast, it's easy, it's ready, it's deliverable when we give it to you. I think people enjoy that side of it as well.
Thank you so much for sharing that with me in the best way possible. Thank you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.